Hello everyone, welcome to this week's question and answer video. Thank you for joining me. Before I get started, if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to this channel. It's a huge supportive thing that you guys can do to help me do what I'm doing. I'm putting information out there, hoping it reaches people who need it. Whatever they choose to do with it after that is up to them, but we need to know some things to even begin to heal. And there's a lot of people out there suffering that don't know why. They don't have answers. They don't know where to go. They don't even know what they're seeking or what they need. So pushing a couple buttons, subscribing to the channel, voting on the videos down there, commenting down below, asking questions, all this stuff really helps me. And I thank you very much for that. So let's get started with this week's video. Lots of good questions, and hopefully I can have good answers. So I recommend something every week to help you guys, usually healing from emotional trauma, whether that's better sleep or with depression, anxiety, meeting people, whatever it is. This week, I'm recommending another book. This book is called A Practical Guide to Complex PTSD, Compassionate Strategies to Begin Healing from Childhood Trauma. We need to learn and understand this. We need to understand our trauma so it won't be so traumatic anymore, and we can heal and make ourselves feel better once we understand it, and not repeat this again. Okay? We can't repeat this again. This book is by Ariel Schwartz, PhD, and you can find it on Amazon. I put the link down below in the description box if you guys are interested. Anybody who's read this book, let me know what you think. Anybody who reads it, tell us what you think. It's Kindle for free, paperback, $13.19. Not bad. Like I said, the link will be down below. Let's get started with the questions, shall we? Oh, here, and just to go over this book. This book includes Understand CPTSD. Get an in-depth explanation of complex PTSD, including its symptoms, its treatment through various therapies, and more. Address the symptoms. Discover evidence-based strategies for healing the symptoms of complex PTSD, like avoidance, depression, emotional dysregulation, and hopelessness. Real stories. Relate to others' experiences with complex PTSD, with multiple real-life examples included in each chapter. Start letting go of the pain from your past. A Practical Guide to Complex PTSD can help you show how. Looks good. I mean, no matter what, it's going to be packed with information that a lot of you guys need to know to begin your recovery. Okay. All right, so questions. First one from Jamie in Wisconsin. Hi, Jamie. Your continued commitment to bringing awareness to this kind of abuse is amazing. I've been listening to your videos for years, almost daily on my drive into and back from work. You have helped me tremendously, and I continue to work through my experience with my ex. Thank you for telling me, Jamie. I appreciate you very much. Thank you, and for your support. That's great. Thank you. So he says, thank you for being here for all of us throughout all the stages of healing. My question, I have a few friends that also have a history of mentally abusive relationships. As you have said, people gravitate towards what feels familiar. How do I bring or have mentally healthier people around me when these people would tend to shy away from me? Feel free just to read my question, as I realize this is a long post to read. Thanks, Jamie. Well, Jamie, it begins with you. So the people we want to have in our life, we become that person, right? Like familiar. Remember, if you're very healthy and have healthy, emotionally mature, emotionally intelligent people in your life, or if you are, then you'll have those people in your life. So people, we need to start maintaining our relationships for one, okay? And this is, evaluating how this relationship serves me. What do I want from this relationship? Is this person capable of giving me this? And we decide what to do with that. Give this another try. Keep trying. But problems need to be fixed. We need to have our emotional needs met. And we must share the same values. Okay? That's something we never compromise. So, maintaining our current relationships and weeding out people that don't serve us, that the relationships don't serve us, and they're maybe toxic and they're not going to fix their problems. They're not going to try to fix the problems you have in your relationship, and we begin to start ending some of these. That's a good step. 2 is, like I said before, we become healthier. So we recover from our traumas and our pains, and we learn more about ourselves and who we are. Okay? And then we learn how to have good, healthy relationships. They're not easy. We're not born knowing this stuff. It's all taught to us. So keep learning, okay? Those are good steps, Jamie. But, man, professionals, if you watch my videos, Jamie, like you say, hire somebody to help you do these things. It's just the best way to get from point A to point B is help. And we all need help, okay? Or we could really struggle and be stuck for a long time. Leave us love. Hello, good to see you again. Hi, David. Which one is a better version of a human being in terms of narcissism when they grow up? The child that is brought up by over-dominating, doting parents, or the child that is brought up by neglectful, non-loving parents? I mean, which one ends up worse? Thank you. Hope my question is clear. And it's very clear. I can't give you an answer because we all react different. We all have different brains and everything is different. You can't just say, you know, every childhood that has parents over-dominating, doting, they end up like this. And we can't say that every child that's been neglectful by non-loving parents ends up like this. So which one's better, right? So you can have people, you know, I've been brought up in one way and you guys have been brought up in other ways, and it doesn't mean we're even narcissists, right? So we all react differently, and it's just impossible for me to sit here and tell you that because, you know, parents that are very over-dominating, doting parents, stuff like this, the child could be just very shy, quiet, reserved, and never try to do much in life. Or they could be completely rebellious and bad. See that? The child who's grown up massive neglect and non-loving parents can then be very self-sufficient, but also learn how to have loving relationships still. Or they can grow up completely neglecting themselves, having horrible, neglectful relationships and never change that. It's just, that's impossible. It is. I hope I made sense. I hope I showed you why that's impossible, or why I think so. Thanks for the question. Please keep asking me, especially if I got it wrong. Anybody, I get your question wrong, I clearly misunderstand it. Help me understand. Let's get down to the bottom of this and start a dialogue, okay? So you asked me a question one time, it doesn't have to stop there. Keep saying, David, well, what about this? David, I meant this, you know, okay? Emily from South Africa. Hi, Emily. Watched CPTSD, Feelings and Emotions. Can you please do another video about why physical things and money and job success doesn't make you happy, but that emotional needs does? I absolutely can. I've talked a lot about this in my videos that are in the Healing CPTSD playlist. Feel free to check those out, but I'm always willing and I want to keep doing, you know, rehashing old videos and offering and supplying new information. So I will. You know, this is clearly the reason people have, you know, the midlife crisis. I've talked about this a lot before to you guys, so I don't want to bore you. I'm going to just say it real quick, and then I'll still make a video about it. But we've evolved, and I'm sorry for those who don't believe in evolution. My opinion is that we've evolved over thousands of years now by having groups, by having a society, by being there for each other. We don't have fangs and teeth. We aren't the best predators, and we make really good prey for other animals. And so by having groups and numbers and families and stuff like this, we have survived and we've thrived. We've become the apex predator without any fangs or claws. Okay? And we've done this by groups of people, and that's why it's the most important thing in our life. That's why the worst thing that we're scared of, even psychopaths don't like, is the being exiled, being gone away from society. That's why people aren't living out in the woods all by themselves without any contact at all with society. They can't do it. We'll actually die. And so the midlife crisis is we're taught by our parents, our teachers. They were taught what's important, what makes us happy is what mom and dad place importance on, right? So yes, it's good to go to school. Yes, sure, it can be good to have good grades and to learn, have an education. And it can be good to have enough money to feed ourselves and give ourselves the things we want, and vacations and maybe some nice things and stuff like this. But if that's all we're taught that's important, we fail. We fail at what's really important to us, and that's people and relating to people. And over these thousands of years of evolution, we have now created emotional needs, and it becomes so much more important to us than physical needs. And people who don't think so don't know themselves. We all are entitled to different opinions. That's fine, but as long as you're a human being, emotional needs are the most important thing in our lives. And a lot of us are taught that that's not true, that they aren't. And there'll be people here today that might say, David, that's not true. That's not the most important thing in my life. Say, I understand that, but you may not know exactly who you are. Okay? Because needs is a very big part of who we are. We have emotional needs, and we know even by studying babies and children that they're the most important thing in our lives. That's how we attach to people, through these things. And so, did I get too far off the subject? So midlife crisis, we're taught that education is what makes us happy. We're taught that a degree. We're taught that extensive school makes us even more happier, and that being financially successful and career successful is what's most important. That might be what our parents taught us. And having really nice things and labels and status and looks is really important. So we do all these things, right? And we have to get a career, and we have to build a house and have a family with children. And these things take time, right? Usually around the middle of our life is when we finally achieve all these things. And then we realize I'm still not happy. Even though I thought that that's what makes me happy, and I achieved all these things, and I sacrificed, dating in college, and I sacrificed going out with my friends much for school and career, and now here I am, and I have all these things, and I'm just totally not happy. And if there's nothing left to do to make me happy, it's critical, it's crisis, it's scary, and that's what a midlife crisis is. Hope that makes sense. Thank you, Emily. Okay, Peter. Don't know where you're from. Tell us where you're from next time, Peter, please. Knowing fact, I'm not alone in trauma after narcissistic relationship, and I believe there are some groups of support is a little uplifting. As much uplifting can be situation being 47 and having to start. Yes, start what? New second life? And I said, this is where we begin discovering the beautiful person you were always meant to be, but never allowed to express. Okay? It's never too late. Never too late to find ourselves and know who we are, and better define ourselves every day anyways. All of us do until we die. Ben from Florida. Hi, Ben. Hey, David, do you still believe that once a person abuses you, the relationship is over regardless if they're family or not? Absolutely. I don't care who it is. It does not matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's your priest, your mailman, your dad, your brother, your daughter. Doesn't matter. Children, we don't disown children because they're abusing us. There's some severe problems going on, and we try to help that child as much as we can until they're finally an adult. But once they're an adult, they keep abusing you, relationship is over. There is no other. I don't know what else to do. Sorry I abused you for a year. Now I'm not going to anymore. Well, that's nice. But the relationship is over. It's tainted. Because we abuse objects, not people. And when people start abusing people and thinking that it's okay to objectify them, I don't know how they find humanity in them again. Maybe they'll find humanity in other human beings, but they've lost it for you. They don't believe you're a human being with human traits, with human needs and human feelings and values and things like this. They don't see you as that anymore. They're hurting you on purpose, and they believe it's okay. Okay? And that relationship is over. Because there's billions of people in this world, and it doesn't matter if they're your family, they can't abuse you. Okay? The one thing that may be an exception is when we're abused by our family as children. And at some point, which happens, it could be very common, is as we reach adulthood, the abuse may stop. And mom and dad went through something very severe, or drug abuse or whatever it was, and they were abusing you as a child, and the relationship didn't end, and the abuse ended. And maybe it's years later now, and you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, and they don't abuse you anymore, and it seems like you guys are able to have a relationship now. Great. Okay. That might be the time that proves me wrong, and yeah, as you're an adult, you meet somebody, your family starts to abuse you, keeps abusing you, still is. A new person, friend, boyfriend, girlfriend, husband, wife, it doesn't matter. Abuse means the relationship is over. Because you have to understand that an abuser believes you're an object. They're treating you like you treat an object that you beat up, punch, destroy, throw away, burn up, give away. That's it. And so I don't know how we find humanity in an object again. So thank you, Ben. Hope that made sense. Thanks. Emma from Sweden. Hello, Emma. We can never say, why is all bad things happening to me? We have to say, what is it that I'm not learning? What do I do? What do I have to do differently? If we change one thing we do every day, our whole day changes. That's the power we have on our own life. Do you agree, David? Absolutely. That's what I preach. Or what do you think about what I wrote? Please let me know. Thank you again for everything you do. Thank you, Emma. I appreciate you. I agree. Very well said. Very well said in your second language, too. Thank you, Emma. Willa from New Jersey. Hi, Willa. Good to see you. Can you please explain what exactly is a dark empath? I have been an empathic person all my life. I guess it is my nature, but I have been walked on so many times, I've gotten a little less empathic. I am just being honest, and I think that's great. I think that's great. So my general consensus on empaths, not all, most. I think most empaths have been emotionally neglected and raised by somewhat of a narcissistic parents. It could be they're not narcissists, it could be they're sick, whatever it is. But the attention is on the parent instead on themselves. And we start trying to know how people feel all the time, and we believe we have to, codependent family, we have to feel with them. I have to feel the way you do. I have to help fix how you feel. I have to, your feelings are more important. I'm worried about you. I'm focusing on your feelings instead of my own. That's the empath. The dark empath would be like instead of a narcissist who hurts people and doesn't have empathy and doesn't understand, it's a person that does have empathy and does understand they're hurting you and abuses you anyway. And so I would say that we all react differently to this kind of emotional neglect. And so you have somebody that grows up and they are empathic, they have empathy, and they might even be more empathic, but they're still abusing and hurting people. That tells me that they're hurting very much inside. So that the neglect that they experienced as a child, the trauma was very traumatic to them. And they still have massive pain inside because hurt people hurt people. And it's not an excuse, it's just an explanation. So a dark empath is somebody who is probably neglected and or abused, which is abuse anyways, and they've been emotionally traumatized by narcissistic parents and focus all their attention on other people's feelings, not their own, and they're highly sensitive to this, and they feel that they have to fix things and help people, and they have to cry when people cry, and that's more like sympathy. And they are hurting inside and haven't healed, and they lash out and hurt others. That's the only way they know how to alleviate their pain. That's what I think, Willa. And you don't have to say, I'm just being honest or feel bad for being less empathic. If your empathy is not serving you and you feel that you might be a little too empathic, then let's try to pull it back. That would be the goal, and that would be good. That's something I've done. I started realizing one day I don't have to feel bad just because someone tells me about their bad experience or they're feeling bad or because this is the worst day of their life. I don't have to feel horrible, and that's okay. I don't have to feel guilty about that either. Maybe you're just maturing. Thank you. Alice Ford? I don't know where you're from. Love to know where you're from, Alice. Just wondering why narcissists would go so far as to make fake profiles on social media to talk to you. This happened to me recently. What would drive a person to this level of sickness? It's a level of consciousness, which is very low. Okay? So when you know yourself really well, then you aren't going to do things outside of your character, are you? Right? You aren't going to be saying all the time, oh my God, I don't know why I did that. That's not like me. Wow, why did I do that? Why did I do that? That means you don't know who the hell you are right now. You're very unstable. But the more stable and the more you know who you are, you aren't going to just do things out of character and be somebody else and do something you never do. Right? But somebody who doesn't know themselves at all has no problem being other people. Faking, posturing, I call it. Narcissists. Narcissists reject themselves. They don't know who they are. They'll be anybody they have to be to get what they want from you. Like a pantomime. Right? Oh, you like Mr. Nice Guy. Oh, you like smart guys. I'm very smart. Oh, you like very sensitive people. I'm very sensitive. Oh, I'm sorry. Make sense? The chameleon. It's easier to do if you don't know who you are. If you don't really value honesty and you don't show that every day, and you begin lying, it gets easier and easier to lie. Lie. Who cares? Now I just lie to lie. Why not? Doesn't make me feel any different to not be honest. Hope that makes sense. Thank you, Alice. Let me know if it doesn't. And, oh, you guys thought I was going to say it's over. Almost. Angela from United Kingdom. Hi, Angela. I hope it's not off topic. If yes, then sorry and ignore it. Could you please make a video about high sensitive people? Are they to be considered as codependent or differently? I'm not going to say that. I've noticed that a lot of people who have been traumatized, neglected, and abused growing up tend to be more sensitive because we have to be more on alert on where the danger is coming from instead of being nurtured like a little baby and a little kid and there's no danger and you're always okay and mommy protects you and keeps you secure and daddy tells you how to live your life. You wouldn't have to be so on high alert all the time, on your own all the time. This makes us more sensitive. It also causes anxiety and depression. Hope that makes sense. Let me know, Angela. Thank you. And Jennifer, why do ex-narcs just pop up out of the woodwork where they know you have gone? I've been 2 years no contact, and he's still showing up with his smile like a ventriloquist dummy because they don't have empathy, which means they don't resent the things they've done. They don't understand how bad you feel and the destruction and the damage they have caused you. All they care about is, are you mad? You're not mad anymore? Good, I get what I want from you? Cool. They don't understand. They're different than you. And Jennifer again, hello. David, all my comments are being deleted. I was talking to Pope and I was deleted. I was talking to Rory and have been deleted. I thought it can't be you because you are here to advise and help. What's going off, David? It's like I've been barred. I'm really sorry, Jennifer. It's not me. I don't delete comments. I have deleted comments before in the several years I've done this, only because they're so negative. And I don't mean just telling me they don't like me or like my video. It's gross and toxic and negative to other people. So I'll delete those. I haven't deleted a comment in a long time. So I'm sorry it's happening to you, Jennifer. You're not the only one that's told me this. I've had problems with my channel over the years. Lots. Some channels have problems like this. I'm guessing that's what it is. I've reported this to YouTube many times. You guys can try to report it and let them know. But not much I can do on my end. I just appreciate your patience. Ask me again. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not me. Some of you guys have wondered if you're being, if it's trolls that are deleting your comments. Probably not. I don't think they can do that. The only thing, maybe you know someone on your end that's into your accounts or something. And just always, everybody, change your passwords on a regular basis to different passwords. Don't have the same one for all of them. We should always be doing that. I'm sorry. To anyone that's happening to, it's a problem with YouTube. And please just type it again if you can. Appreciate it. Thank you. And Jennifer again, how do narcs feel when they know you feel nothing for them any longer, no longer codependent, confident, and you're confident and happy? Well, it's kind of like misery loves company, right? Like a drug addicts all hang out with each other and get high, and then when one gets better and gets off the drugs, then they all hate them. They feel judged by them and stuff like this. A little bit of that going on, but they really, really need people's validation. They can't validate themselves. They can't make themselves feel better. They can't stroke their own ego. They need people to do this, so they've lost. It's lost to them. They will not address that or introspect, so it causes them depression, anxiety, usually. They try to cover this up by immediately finding someone else, which doesn't work, and this stuff just follows them and follows them and follows them, and piles up. But they also feel super, super rejected. They're like, oh, it's just like me saying to you, if I was your lover that you love so much, I said, I don't need you anymore. I don't want you anymore. I don't love you anymore. Bye. And it's just horrible. And they feel more shame. Emily, hey, David, what do you think of me? I don't really know what I think of myself. I feel confused, and I'm so sorry, Emily. I don't know you. Emily, I don't know you. The interactions we have here, I don't know you. You watching my videos, you don't know me. We've talked a couple times, email, you've asked for some advice, I gave it to you. I don't know you, okay? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. The only person that really knows himself the most is you. So keep learning, keep discovering. And this is a journey, Emily, that we're all on till the day we die, okay? And I wanted to make a point by saying, you know, a lot of us have false trust. A lot of us think that we can trust people when in fact we don't know them. And we get confused, and we think that if we go through a traumatic experience together, now I can trust them. We think if I work with them long enough, I know them. If we meet and have a one-night stand and we have sex and we both orgasm together and we're naked in front of each other long enough, we know each other. No, we don't. This is false trust. And you may watch my videos and say, David seems like a really nice, trusting guy. He's always there for me, this and that. And I know David. No, you don't. No, you don't. People are just too multifaceted. And we have to interact personally and privately and intimately over long periods of time to get to know somebody. Okay, Emily? I'm sorry you feel that way. Good thing is you're young. And a lot of young people feel that way. Okay? Get help. Work with people. Keep learning. Self-discovery is beautiful. Thank you all. That's it for this week's question and answer video. I hope my answers make sense. I hope I didn't miss anybody's questions. Please let me know if I have. Okay? Ask questions down there. Be involved. It helps. It supports. It makes you feel better. Get it out. Vent down there. Whatever you want to do. Okay? But let's keep learning about our experiences, about our trauma, and who we are. All right? Love yourself first, guys. I'll see you next week. Okay? Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.